Right, hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me back on the banks of the Ribble. I'm in search of silvers on the stick float. Recently you did see on a vlog that I'll link at the top of the screen now, where we fished a little brook with some surprising results with those dace as conditions did change. This week it's been quite dry. Come the weekend, as always with us anglers, the heavens have opened and it's raining. But an all-round channel, out in any conditions, we won't let that stop us today. The hope today is just to get a few bites from dace as we fish another one of those rivers that run into the main river Ribble. In that recent vlog, conditions really did work in our favour. The river rose, didn't it, and the colour come, and the main river did speed up. Unfortunately today, the main river is going off a tide, so the tide's dropping and pulling out to sea. What that's doing is it's drawing all that water really quickly out the river, so we're not going to get that back up today, I don't think, unless we do get a lot of rain and the river to the side of me begins to colour and back up a bit. So there are a lot of new subscribers coming to the channel, and welcome to you all. I hope you do enjoy the channel. Just for those that are new, I am on the bank alone. There is only me and my GoPro and a camera, so I do my best to capture the sessions and the fishing. Days like today, very hard, obviously with a GoPro on my head, underneath the brolly, wet. They are sessions that are hard to capture, but I will do my best. That's enough of the talking. Let's have a look at the setup and the swim we're going to fish. So as you can see here, in summer it'd be very different. All the giant hogweed that's died. I imagine you wouldn't get near this bit of bank come summer with that about. But as it is at the moment, it's dead and it's okay. But you can just see the size of them. The swim we're going to fish, you can see we've got the box down. We are quite comfy. The brolly's up. And we've got a river running in this way. And it links up with the main river there. On the peg now at the moment, you can see the river is not really moving much. It's a spate river and there is a tide, and this is the top end of the tide now. So from now to the end of the session, it's going to run off unless we get a lot of rain and obviously the river begins to rise. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and this is now the very top of the tide. So looking at the side tray, we've got a couple of pints of white maggot. We've got a couple of pints of the Hinders hemp that are cooked last night, and you can see there, I get a lot of questions about this hemp. Really good. Soak it for 24 hours on a Thursday night, and then Friday night before I go fishing, 20 minutes cooking. You can see splits well. All the bits and pieces you need for your hook link. So I'm just going to start off at the end of the rod tip there, just feeding in front of me, feeding a hemp about there. It is only a shallow swim, you're talking 1.5 to 2 foot max. So yeah, not the deepest. I'm going to start off nice and easy. One of the biggest lessons I learned in fishing off my uncle was always start easy and only go hard if you have to. If we can catch the fish here, then don't go out there. Only try further out if you have to. And there we go. It's the first fish of the day. Hasn't taken too long. It's a roach, which is a good sign. And there we go. Right on where we're putting that hemp, which is exactly where we want to get them. Just want them to be a little bit bigger. But that is a little chublet. There we go. Really good positive start to the session, most definitely. To be getting bites is all you ask for at the start. It really is. You can always build on bites. It's the first slightly better one. You see there, just by keeping at it, we've already attracted a bigger dace. That's an excellent sign. Like I always say on the channel, where there's one, there's normally more. So by just persevering with it, hooked into the best one of the day. And it's a trout and he's just come off. I'm not too gutted about that. If it had been a dace, then yeah, But Mr. Trout, no, not too bothered. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same one we just lost. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is the old salmon par, sea trout. I'm sure there's people more qualified on the channel. It's a good look at it. I don't know what it is, so I can't tell you whether you're right or wrong, but pop in the comments below what you think it is. And these bites now are literally just coming off the rod tip. Like I've said before on the vlog, with dace and silvers like this, you can really manipulate the shoal to where you want them. And that is a bit more of what we want to see. You know, a bit more quality to it and a nice roach. Just coming on the market off the rod tip and right on that hemp. So one thing that's just arrived on the water is a downstream wind coming down this little river. And it's going to impact it. But hopefully we can keep these bites coming close in like this. That wind might not impact too bad. You know, we can keep that line going straight down the river off the rod tip. Will make it a bit easier. But yeah, good to be out on the bank getting a few bites. My favourite fish of all the days, because where there's one, like I said at the start, there's normally more, and they're so obliging and lovely fish, and one of the better quality ones of the day so far. So with that wind coming down, I've gone up to a 10 number 4, but I know this float takes a few more shots than that, just to get that presentation right. And that's the first better chublet of the day, and that wind just keeps coming and going, but when it really blows, it really hinders presentation. So it's good just going a bit heavier, keeping the bites coming. I said it in the other video, the beauty of rivers is you just never know what can happen. And we had that little small chublet, and now we've just hooked into another one just slightly better. And that's just how rivers can change and why you can never give up, and why I love them so much. Plenty of bites this morning, and it's been an enjoyable morning on the bank. But if these guys start turning up, and that's the average size, the net will soon rocket. It's a lovely fish. Like I've said before, the key to it all is feeding. You've got to keep that bait going in. You know, the river's powerful, it's washing the maggots out of here every time. But yeah, you've got to keep that bait going in. They're just way heavier than dace of a similar size and of them roach of a similar size, and that's why they win a lot of matches, isn't it? But if we start getting them regular, yeah, good fun. And again, just shows how the swim can change. Just like that, there's a few roach now in the swim. It's amazing how it can change. And I just love with roach how they have that blue hue at the top of them. It always reminds me of a lure I had for pike as a kid, an abu one, and it had that glint to it like that. It's a beautiful fish. Let's get it straight back. As I said before, there is only me on the bank, and it is hard to film at times. Days like today, most definitely, where it's windy and open and changeable. But hopefully it's just showing what enjoyable sport you can have on the ribble, and if you stick at it, how the swim can change. Might be grey, overcast and a bit wet, but really enjoying it. Really enjoyable fishing. And these chublets now coming really steady. I say some of them are a bit better than others. They are in beautiful condition, like a new penny. And somewhere out there must be mum and dad. And hopefully, before the end of today, they pay us a visit. And another one of those lovely trout. Could quite possibly be one from before. They are that greedy. But yeah, beautiful colours. And just add that bit of variety to the day's fishing. So safe to say that winter's definitely here. The conditions, as you can see, terrible. The rain properly coming down. We've had quite a few bites. So that does bring the session to an end there now, and what a wild and wet end to the session it was. As you can see, the rain coming down and the wind. As you can see from the final net, we've had an enjoyable day's fishing on the bank, and that's what it's all about. All that remains now is for me to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight line.